A fight that, many people have fought.
Annie Farmer on CBS Mornings. The bill to compel the Justice Department to release the Epstein files is now at the White House. President Trump's vowed to sign it. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
Where this goes from here, the Justice Department has 30 days to release all of these files to the public. But remember, the president has also urged the DOJ, or told the DOJ, to look into ties between high-profile Democrats and Jeffrey Epstein. And so there are some concerns among lawmakers up here that those investigations could delay or limit what will or could be released.
Harvard University's reopened its investigation into links between former school president Larry Summers and Epstein. Summers has resigned from the board of OpenAI. The Justice Department says the grand jury that charged former FBI Director James Comey wasn't presented with a copy of the final indictment. Comey's lawyers say that lapses grounds for dismissal. CBS's Ed O'Keefe has more on the second day of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's visit to D.C.
The Crown Prince and the President now heading over to the Kennedy Center for a U.S.-Saudi investment summit, basically the follow-up to the meetings they had in May in Riyadh, where Saudi Arabia initially announced plans to invest up to $600 billion in the United States. The Crown Prince now says the plan is to invest up to $1 trillion.
There's a bipartisan bill to ban stock trading by members of Congress, colorfully backed by Tennessee Republican Tim Burchett.
Yeah, everybody talks about this place being a dadgum swamp. It's not a swamp. A swamp is something cool God created. It filters water. Animal life lives and flourishes around it. This is a sewer.
On campus, CBS's Michael Wallace tells us college students indicate poor nutrition is more of a problem than drug or alcohol abuse.
A poll conducted for the health organization Touch Grass Together found 82% of college students say unhealthy diets are a problem on campus, while 71% cited alcohol or drug abuse. Many students say their campus dining halls, cafes, and vending machines lack healthy food options and serve too many ultra-processed foods, which they say leaves them feeling sluggish or down.
In 1975, pitcher Randy Jones appeared in baseball's All-Star game.
Randy Jones from San Diego Padres will be the new pitcher for the National League.
Jones, who won a Cy Young Award while with the Padres, has died at 75 years old. Wall Street, the Dow is down 18 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A Tacoma business says it had no idea the man it hired to play Santa was put on trial for killing his wife. The story coming up. At first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In the Tacoma area, there is road work underway on I-5 in both directions near State Route 16. In Pacific, 3rd Avenue Southwest is closed where it crosses under State Route 167. Crews are repairing the bridge that was damaged by an overheight truck. You still have some heavy volumes out there. Travel times, Everett to Seattle, 45 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 63. Renton to Bellevue, 32. Traffic brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. The Black Friday sale is on now. Save up to 75%, plus enjoy 18 months, 0% financing.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A Tacoma business says it had no idea the man they hired for a holiday event, Robert Selland, allegedly killed his wife. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman spoke to the business and the wife's sister.
If you think Cheryl was shocked to learn that Selland was planning to play Santa during the holidays in this parking lot,
I couldn't imagine a child sitting on a murderer's lap.
So was the business. Who owns it?
On behalf of my parents who run this establishment, they just want to apologize.
And make things right.
We've basically told him that for the time being to not come around.
What goes through your head when you hear that?
I'm grateful. He's not going to be there.
Selland was found not guilty in his wife's murder by reason of insanity and was released from a psychiatric hospital last year. Family members of a 14-year-old Seattle girl murdered 3 decades ago went to court to see her accused killer. The sister of Tanya Marie Frazier telling KIRO 7 TV.
We're hoping to see this through. We'll be here every day and pray for justice.
Mark Anthony Rusk was arrested after police say his DNA was linked to Frazier's murder. Providence Swedish plans to eliminate nearly 300 positions in the Puget Sound area in the next few months. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomiba has more.
Those impacted employees will transition out early next year. Providence Swedish blames growing financial challenges like Medicaid cuts. rising state taxes, and fewer patients coming in. They say the recently passed H.R. 1, or the Big Beautiful Bill Act, will cut safety net programs even further.
The CEO of Swedish Health Services says the layoffs are necessary to sustain the health group. Economists say the state is going to take in about $66 million less than first thought due to weaker job and housing markets. Governor Bob Ferguson says the news isn't great, but not as bad as he feared. An act of generosity by a Pierce County woman. KIRO 7 TV's Allison Amoy has the story.
Alicia Biesinger flew to Virginia to do something many never consider: donate a kidney to a complete stranger, Navy veteran Jim Ellis.
It was a perfect match. God sent her to me.
And while surgeons call living donors like Biesinger heroes, she simply says it was the right thing to do.
You have this gift inside of you, and so this was an opportunity to give it.
The number of living donors is about half the number of deceased donors, but the success rate is much higher.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs near 50. It's 43 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, November 19th. We're grateful and thankful that you listen to the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. A Lakewood police chief turned the darkest day in his department's history into a tradition of compassion that is feeding families all across Pierce County. That chief, Brett Farrar, has passed away, but his tradition, G, continues today. And coming up at 9:30, we'll have a guest who will join us to let all of us know how we can help out. Our KIRO News Radio text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
Providence Swedish says it is facing a financial squeeze so severe it plans to cut nearly 300 jobs across its Puget Sound hospitals and clinics in the coming months. That's about 4% of its Seattle area workforce. And leaders are pointing to what they call a perfect storm. They're pointing to new state taxes, looming Medicare and Medicaid cuts, delays in insurance payments, and fewer surgeries. And altogether, they say the system is staring down a $245 million hit by 2028. And they also insist that this is not COVID fallout. This is on top of all that. And these cuts, G, touch more than 100 different departments at the First Hill, Cherry Hill, Ballard, and Issaquah campuses. And Providence says the goal is to rethink workflows so that remaining staff are not overloaded. They say that patients shouldn't see any major changes, although you may notice that more surgeries are being shifted to outpatient centers, especially some of those orthopedic procedures. 2 services are also going to close, the pharmacy at Cherry Hill and the weight loss clinic in Issaquah. And all of this is coming as Providence Swedish continues building a new $1.3 billion tower in Seattle, but leadership says that construction is not connected to the layoffs. It is essential for expanding ICU, surgical, and cardiac care.
Yeah, Ursula, I think that we all know and understand what kind of potential impact that this can have, not just on the staff. So shout out to the staff that this can impact them, but of course on us, the community. And what I mean by that is we know the potential of, like you just said, delayed services. We know the stress on the remaining staff. We know the potential of ER wait times that could loom, even though they said it's not. But we know that things like this, cuts in healthcare, could be a real impact on the community. And you just never want to see, especially healthcare, right? Like, of all the industries, not saying one industry is more important than the other, but you definitely don't want to see it there. And then the next part, when I hear you read that news, the first thing I started to think about was we are now reminded that we are just really entering into a new space. And what I mean by that is sometimes the ground up under you could feel and seem stable, but at the same time, the roof is leaking and the stability. So whether you're in our jobs, Ursula, you could be doing what we do, you could be in healthcare, you could be in podcasting, you could be whatever role that you're in. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. So I think that every day, listening to your news that you're giving out, every day we are reminded to not just be passive, not just feel as if we are safe in our jobs. Just because you're safe, we need to continue to build relevance amongst ourselves, in our community, and just going forward with your network. So that's what I got right there in that thought.
I'm just curious if when you go see a doctor or you see your nurse practitioner or whoever your healthcare provider is, if you ever have conversations about how their life, they always ask us how our life is going, because I have really actually become very fond of my care team, and I often talk to them, and they know what I do for a living. So I said, help me understand what you are dealing with right now. And I will tell you that my OBGYN told me she is retiring early. She said she's just done. It's just not sustainable. They are burned out. They are overloaded. They're fed up with doing more paperwork than actual medicine. They're also dealing with fewer students going into the healthcare profession because students going into it are overburdened with huge amounts of debt. And they're saying that all of this is happening when an aging population is flooding the system with more complicated needs. And so, for example, how does that play out? I have been trying to get in to do a sleep study. You guys know I have horrible sleep. It took me 8 months. I have my first appointment coming up here in a week. It took 8 months to get in. I mean, and I know that if you are trying to see a specialist, generally, unless you're dealing with an absolute emergency, you're waiting. And it's only going to get worse. So I want to ask you, because I was like, well, what's the solution to this? And so I'm curious what people think. I've got a couple, and I just want you all to think about it. Because first of all, we as a country need to fix the reimbursement model so that hospitals are actually paid what it costs to treat people. And here was one idea that came up, though, and what do you think about this? Forgiving medical school debt for anyone who goes into particular things like rural care. Because right now there are areas where rural hospitals are shutting down. So what would you think of the idea of...
Well, you know how I feel about elimination of student loan debt.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I'm across the board on that. I'm not picking and choosing. I believe in debt relief across the board.
The other thing is, how do you get rid of some of the bureaucracy, the paperwork and entry data? And I would love to hear from people in the medical field if you tell me, this is your experience as well, because this is what I've been told and this is what I see the research is showing. And again, it's not going to change, but it's only going to get harder and harder to get in to see a doctor, or we're also going to have more and more people who are using the ER as their main source of health care, which again is problematic. And the other thing that comes up is that we need to do a much better job of preventing the diseases that overload the system, like the diabetes and heart disease. And where does that come in? Nutrition, food, something. I'm just pointing out.
I'm laughing.
Yes.
By the way, the reason why I laughed right there is because you said something that was very important. You talked about food, right? And so somebody would say, well, duh, of course, food.
Yeah.
But look what we've been talking about.
What have we been arguing for the last months?
Like, there are people that really, like, how dare that person get over $200 a month in food assistance? So the thing is that all of these topics that we talk about, they're all connected.
Yes.
Everything's connected. Yes. So this is why sometimes I'm saying on these things, we can't pick and choose when we decide we want to help folks. Everything is connected.
Yes.
Somebody Rich and Burian just texted in, and he said something. He talked about how he is a Providence driver for the elderly. And he gets them to their appointments for dialysis care. And he says, if I lose my job, I can get another driving job. But the idea of folks losing their care is something that would haunt him. And the reason why that text stands out to me is because when I was in school, the people I used to get to and from school from a service that picked up the elderly folks that went for dialysis care. I was always in the van with them. That's how I got to and from school.
Yeah.
And so I'm bringing that up because those type of services, if that were to go away for some people, would just be something. But anyway, I just want to say that.
Well, that's just it. And if Rich is who I think he is, I mean, I think he may have driven my father when I couldn't drive my dad. I mean, those were the folks. Yeah, as you said, things are interconnected, and so we shouldn't be surprised that we are seeing hospitals laying off all of these people. Okay, let's move on. Police departments across Washington are hitting the pause button on those automated license plate cameras, not because the technology has actually failed, but because a judge says the public does have a right to see the data that they collect. So now police departments in Stanwood and Cedar-Woolley have shut their systems down. That even happened before the ruling, Gee. And then after the decision, Redmond, Linwood, and Skamania County also followed suit. And we are talking about this Flock Safety Camera Network. It's the system that takes pictures of passing vehicles and alerts police if a plate is tied to a stolen car, for example, or a missing person or some kind of crime. And there was a Walla Walla tattoo artist who asked for these images from dozens of different agencies under the Public Records Act. And when many cities refused, he sued. And then a judge said, no, actually, those images are public record and they have a public purpose and you have to release them. So police departments say they're worried about the privacy and then unintended consequences like that. Flock Safety argues there's no expectation of privacy on public roads. So I'm curious if you agree with that. And it wants the legislature to step in and change the law. But right now, those departments have just powered the cameras down while they figure out what is next.
It feels like we bring this topic up often. And I'm not wavering. I'm not changing. I'm for these cameras at all times. Now, it might be some privacy issues. I know that the argument might be, well, what if someone is trying to escape a domestic violence situation? I get it, right? But at the same time, we all do know that public roads, public places, there's always you being on camera at some point. As a matter of fact, I'd argue that when you leave your house, you are on camera probably 90% of the time, between your neighbor's Ring camera, between your office, your cameras at work, the cameras in the grocery store, the cameras in the bank. Probably the safest place is probably when you go for confessions with your priest. Outside of that, there's going to be cameras at all times.
So you're still in favor of the Flock safety cameras. Okay. So here's my thing, because obviously I actually appreciate these departments that are saying, hey, wait a minute, we need to put a pause on this until we figure a few things out. But I am also a proponent of the cameras because I do think that they have a purpose and they do serve a purpose. And so I don't believe we have to pick between privacy and public safety because I think that the cities that want to use these cameras, we should have a statewide framework in terms of what are the rules, what specifically will you be using these cameras for? There needs to be full transparency. There needs to be independent oversight. And at the end of the day, I mean, I basically feel like I want those cameras to work to protect me, not to work against me.
Sure. Yeah, I think we all want that.
Yes, but I mean, there are people who are really taking issue with, the idea that it is an invasion of privacy. It is being used by federal agents in immigration arrests, and which goes against state law. And again, I think there's a way to make it right.
One thing I think that we have learned with technology is technology, as much as it can be used for good, it can be used for bad, right? Like, and even in your own neighborhood, it can be used for bad. You can see, if I like to break in homes, let's just say that's something I like to do. And my Ring camera, right, sees the pattern of my neighbor every single day. I'm able to go on my Ring camera and see exactly when my neighbor comes home and see exactly when my neighbor goes to work. Well, if I use my Ring camera and, oh, my goodness, I was able to use the camera to know the rhythm and the schedule of my neighbor, I'm going to go help myself to their home. Again, I'm using the Ring camera for an example. It can be used for bad.
Yeah, but like with the expansion of these things, I mean, there are like 88,000 cameras nationwide, and these were being adopted at an insane clip across the state. Gee, like, let me just give you a quick scenario. There's a little gym down below us in the bottom of the building. There's a cute girl there that I see every day, and I wonder where she lives. Okay, well, I just go to my public records request, and I plug in the license plate of the car that I see her driving away in. And I can see everywhere that she travels, her entire history of movement throughout the state, where she lives. Like, why would we want that?
And again, that's why I'm saying there needs to be transparency. There needs to be limitations as to how they can be used. And again, that is something that still would need to be worked out, and it needs to be a statewide framework. So it's not just different in one jurisdiction versus another.
How about y'all? Some of y'all just check in and check out of it. How about that? How about that? Right?
Did you hear in True Olive, though, about the flock license plate camera helping them get that porch pirate?
That's an example. If something happens to you, hey, are you for or against it? Are you against it? Then you can't get the video to help you out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of joking, but
no, exactly.
I'm kind of serious.
Yeah. So how do you feel about AI screening calls for help? And the reason I'm asking this is because over in Spokane, they're bringing in artificial intelligence to help unclog their overloaded dispatch system. Later this year, an AI tool called Prepared AI is going to start triaging non-emergency crime check calls, the ones about abandoned cars or maybe some minor traffic issues, the kinds of calls that tie up the human dispatchers. Yep. So crime check gets about 250,000 calls a year. Nearly half of them aren't crimes at all. And the idea is that AI can sort of out those lower level calls and then route people to the right agency. And county leaders are stressing that 911 will not be automated. Those emergencies will still go straight to people.
I like it. I like anything that has an opportunity to create more efficiency. And I think that when you just explained what you did, you're thinking about some of the calls that won't fall through the cracks. So I like this.
I am curious what the police union will say about it, or the dispatchers union, I guess in this case.
To protect jobs?
Because again, I mean, we're talking about the system costs $95,000 a year under a 2-year contract, so they've got the testing already underway. I mean, again, I know a dispatcher who, and we've had a dispatcher on the show, their jobs are very stressful. So if you can take out the stress and still serve the public well while freeing up the dispatchers, I think this is a great idea.
I said
it may cost some jobs, though.
I said at the very beginning of the show when we were talking about the hospitals, I said the landscapes of jobs are changing. Just because you might be in a safe job today doesn't mean your job is safe tomorrow. And I'm not pointing fingers. That goes for all of us. Every single day, there's new news about this job and more efficiency. That's the word that is being used. Hey, coming up next, 9:47. 1 in 4 men believe something that, I don't know about this. We do that at 9:47. But up next, we have a we have a guest that's going to come on with us. And it's talking about the fallen officers food drive. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
Well, you're getting ready every morning. Make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO Newsradio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
When you imagine your retirement, what do you see? Maybe a beach, a vacation cabin in the woods? For me, I dream of traveling the world. I definitely want to spend more time with family, and hopefully I'll be hanging out with some grandkids in the future. Whatever your dream looks like, it deserves a plan that is just as unique. And at Trajan Wealth, their fiduciary advisors specialize in crafting custom strategies for families with $500,000 or more in savings. They focus on capital preservation, growth, and low-cost investments so that you can focus on what matters most to you. Don't settle for a one-size-fits-all plan. Let Trajan Wealth help design the one that fits you. Trajan Wealth, spelled Trajan. Call 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300, or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Celebrate the Taj Mahal Quintet's 30th anniversary performing at Dimitros Jazz Alley, November 21st through 30th. Don't miss these living icons. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Smokey Robinson, December 1st and 2nd.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Herbosh. The governor of Texas has declared one of the largest Muslim civil rights groups in the U.S. a foreign terror group. Greg Abbott claims the Council on American Islamic Relations has ties to Hamas and wants to impose Sharia law on Americans. CARE Deputy Director Edward Ahmed Mitchell.
We have zero connections to any foreign interests at all, not Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, or any other foreign organization. We answer to the American people, period.
A bill forcing the Justice Department to release the Jeffrey Epstein files is awaiting President Trump's signature. The House and Senate have passed it. Washington Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal posted on X that survivors of the convicted sex trafficker were on hand.
All the survivors that have been so brave and courageous were up in the gallery and in tears and celebrating and joyful that finally people were paying attention to them, and finally we got this vote through.
Washington Congressman Mitchell Baumgartner tells Seattle Red 770.
I've always been consistent in the fact that the nefarious and evil activities of Jeffrey Epstein need to be revealed, and that transparency is always the best approach to these things.
President Trump says he will sign the bill. There are questions about the Trump administration's decision to sell U.S. fighter jets to Saudi Arabia, given that country's close ties to China. But at a dinner for Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, President Trump says he's designated Saudi Arabia a non-NATO ally.
A stronger and more capable alliance will advance the interests of both countries, and it will serve the highest interest of peace, and we all share in peace, and we've never had and been so close to truly everlasting peace in the Middle East.
A ceasefire in Gaza did not stop pro-Palestinian protesters to gather outside the Microsoft campus in Redmond. More from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
They were loud in their demand that Microsoft fully end contracts with the Israeli military. Vinaya Agrawal with No Asher for Apartheid says so far the ceasefire has meant nothing.
Hundreds have been killed since the so-called ceasefire.
In a statement, Microsoft said, "We respect the right to peaceful assembly and ask that it be done in a way that does not cause business disruptions." In Redmond, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Fly Dubai, the lower-cost sister airline of Emirates, is buying 75 Boeing 737 MAX jets. The $13 billion deal announced at the Dubai Air Show. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 71 points, NASDAQ up 42. KIRO News Radio traffic in the Tacoma area. Watch out for road work on I-5 in both directions near State Route 16. Remember, in Pacific, 3rd Avenue Southwest is closed where it crosses under State Route 167. Crews are repairing the bridge that was damaged by an overheight truck. Travel times coming down a bit. Everett to Seattle, 23 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 48. Renton to Bellevue, 32. Traffic brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Cage-free eggs are good, free-range better, and mobile pasture are the best. Choose the best locally fresh Wilcox Family Farm eggs. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs near 50. It's 43 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This This is the Gee and Ursula Show. We sure appreciate you joining us on this Wednesday morning. And today we are honoring something that grew out of one of the darkest chapters in Washington law enforcement history and became a remarkable tradition of service. Now, back in 2009, Lakewood Police Chief Brett Farrar started a community food drive to honor the 4 officers who were murdered while sitting in a Parkland coffee shops. Their names are etched into this region's memory: Sergeant Mark Renninger, Officer Tina Griswold, Officer Ronald Owens, and Officer Greg Richards. And rather than letting grief swallow the community, Chief Farrar built the Fallen Officers Food Drive as a way to remember his officers through compassion and connection. Unfortunately, Chief Farrar passed away in 2017, but this tradition, continues today, and I'm happy to say that joining us right now here on the Gee and Ursula Show is Brett's brother, Blaine Farrar, who is carrying this mission forward. Good morning, Blaine.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Take us back to 2009. What do you remember about the moment that your brother decided that a food drive was the best way to honor those 4 officers?
Well, it was coming up on the 1-year anniversary. He was speaking with Cindy, his wife, and the mood, understandably, around the department was a little down, and he wanted to do something to bring up the morale in the department and foster some, or thank the community for their support, because they were great after the tragedy. They decided that a food drive would be a good way to connect the community and the department and help in the process.
And Blaine, here you are today, still carrying that on. What makes you continue to do this?
Well, obviously, I've been around the law enforcement community for a while, and I see a lot of the blowback they get. Most of the time, the community was so supportive during the tragedy. So I told Brett before he passed that he will, there'll always be a Farrar there,
right,
to carry it on. And it's touching to see people that do still remember and come in and speak about the 4 officers and how much they did for them. So it's a great event to be a part of, and it's just something that I want to see carry on, and this year especially, the need is incredible.
Well, and I want to talk about that because food insecurity is still a huge issue in Pierce County and other areas. What are you hearing down there from the food banks about the need this year?
The need is incredible. The food banks are getting cleared out a lot quicker than they normally do. They're in very desperate need for high protein items, canned meats, peanut butter is a great, stuff with a lot of protein, and just whatever anybody can do. They accept cash donations also. We just love seeing people come out and talk to the community and take their donations. It's a fun event out of a bad event.
You're listening to the voice of Blaine Farrar, and he's here to talk about the Fallen Officers Food Drive that's been happening. And Blaine, we know that, every, can, you just talked about the peanut butter and the protein and all that stuff. We know that it tells a story. What do you hope people that are listening right now and people that do decide to contribute, what do you hope that people feel when they go to contribute to this food drive?
Oh, sure. Ask me a hard question. I just want them to feel and know that with every donation, they're helping their community, their neighbors, they're helping the morale of their department that keeps them safe. It's great for the officers to see the public when the public doesn't have to call them. And see them out of the work element, so to speak. I just want them to know that every donation that comes in really helps and is truly appreciated.
And tell us where this is happening and from what hours, and are there other ways that people can contribute?
They're taking donations. We're set up on the street in front of the department, which is on Lakewood Drive, 9404, I believe, Lakewood Drive. If you go to Lakewood Police Department's Facebook page, they have notices up of other places where that can be donated, but they'll be out here live taking donations until about 6 p.m. tonight.
Hey, Blaine, what made you reach out to the Gee and Ursula Show this morning?
Well, I listen to y'all all the time. I like you guys, and I'll be honest with you, you know, when talking with Brett when this was first happening, he's like, I just want, you know, I don't ever want people to forget. I've got the sticker on the back of my car with the officers' names. It says never forget. And as years pass, you know, I'm used to coming in the morning to set up, and there's several local news agencies to do a story. This year, not so much.
Well,
so
we were happy to bring attention to this. You did reach out and you said that, yeah, you needed a shout out because you wanted to make sure that people know about it and that it hasn't gotten the attention that it has in past years. There are people listening right now who don't know anything about these 4 officers. And as we close out our interview, if you could share what you know and what you want people to know about these 4 officers who lost their lives.
The 4 officers had dedicated their life to serve their community. Before their lives were taken, that they were setting up to do exactly that. They did it with great honor. It's hard to explain with what law enforcement has to go through every day, what they see, what they put up with. All the general public sees most of the time is the negative stories, which can be frustrating sometimes. But the men and women of Lakewood and, you know, every police department, the vast, vast majority of them sincerely care about their community and the community members, and they want to do anything they can to help.
And you will see that in action today. Again, you can bring your food donations to the Lakewood Police Department out there on Lakewood Drive. Thank you so much for sharing this information with us, Blaine, and we hope you get a great turnout today.
I do too. Thank you very much for putting it out there for me.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we need to talk, y'all. Fellas. Yes, because 1 in 4 men believe this. And I want to know if you believe the same. You know, sometimes we hear a study, like, I don't know about that study. Well, we'll share it next. Gee and Ursula.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
When you go to any business, you want to be treated like you are a valued customer. And I would say that is especially the case when you're dealing with a car dealership. You don't want to be treated like a transaction. And that is something that Carter Subaru will never do. They are a place where you're always going to be feeling like you've been taken care of. And that is why I am a repeat customer. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership. They have the state's largest selection. And if you've been thinking about upgrading, now is truly the time, because you can get the 2025 Crosstrek at just 1.9% financing for 72 months. And right now is one of my favorite times of the year because it's the Subaru Share the Love event. And for every new Subaru that is purchased, Subaru will donate $250 to one of 6 charities, and one of them is Treehouse. So you're not just buying a great car, you're doing a lot of good at the same time. For a dealership that actually treats you with respect and makes the whole process feel so easy, go see my friends at Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard, or go to cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 11/30/25.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Hey, Husky Nation, the rivalry right now, it's on. But this time it's bigger than football. It's the holiday season, so we're taking that fight from the field to the table with Rivalry for a Reason, a head-to-head fundraiser between UW and Oregon fans to tackle food insecurity across the Northwest. It's G. Scott here. Here's a play. Every dollar you donate counts as a vote. And votes? They're unlimited. So let's outgive the Ducks and show what Husky Pride is all about. Go to dogsvsducks.org right now to donate and help us win leading up to Thanksgiving. 100% of your donation goes directly to households in need, thanks to Safeway and Northwest Harvest. This is more than a game. It's a chance to make a real difference. So, Huskies, let's dominate the scoreboard where it matters most. Go to dogsvsducks.org. Give today, win today. Let's go.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, and your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
Boy, Nick, I tell you what. Nick, let me just say.
What's the inside story
Nick,
on this?
I just want to tell you that you are way more valuable than you think.
This one really tickled you, huh?
It did, because it was so unexpected. Coming up at 10 o'clock, Eduardo Jordan, 2 times James Beard Award winner, will join us here in studio, and we're going to talk about not just restaurant failures and why is it so expensive to go out to eat. Seattle's number 1. So he joins us next. But fellas, we need to talk. A whole lot of you brothers straight up losing hope. Y'all losing hope, y'all. 1 in 4 men say they don't believe anyone will ever fall in love with them. 1 in 3 young men, 18 to 24, say they don't think they'll ever find a partner at all. The report blames a mix of things: pressure to be the breadwinner, rising expectations in relationships, dating app burnout, the manosphere poisoning minds, and this idea that you have to be high value, a high value man to even get the first date. And here's the wild part. As women have gotten more independent financially, a lot of men say they feel like they can't measure up. Over half of men think women expect too much, and nearly half say a serious relationship just feels too expensive. A 2022 Pew Research survey shows how rough the game is right now. 63% of men under the age of 30 reported being single, not married, living with a partner, or in a committed relationship, compared to only 30% of women in the same age group. Ursula, what you got?
Well, first of all, there are a lot of studies that I look at or I hear and I think, yeah, who did the study? And I don't believe it. But this is one of those studies that I believe. This is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, that tracks. And why does that track? Well, first of all, I hear it from people in my circle and people in my family who I'm very close to who are still in the dating scene, happen to be men in the dating scene. And it is tough. And then there are also studies talking about women asking the same thing. During our morning meeting, I was asking, well, how are women feeling about their dating options? And there was a 2024 University of Toronto study that found that single women are significantly happier with their relationship status than single men. There are a lot of women who are perfectly happy being single. There are a lot of women who are looking through the future of their life and saying, you know what? I would be perfectly content if I have my 4-legged friend, if I have good friendships, if I have dates, but I don't need to necessarily be in a long-term committed relationship. And there was Pew Research also found that nearly 60% of single women are not looking for a relationship at all. That's compared to about 40% of men. Mm-hmm. So there is an imbalance right there.
Right. Yeah.
And again, doesn't it feel like every time we talk about it, we're so divided in so many areas, and when it comes to dating as well. It sounds like for women, it's like, yeah, I can take it or leave it. For a lot of women. That's not how I felt.
Yeah. Well, it's way more simple than people would like to believe. I remember in school, guess who did their homework the fastest when I was coming up? Usually the gals in the school, they usually got their homework done faster than the boys when I was coming up in school. I know, sweeping statement, but that's just what I saw. Today, if I had to say which one, the man or the woman, is looking to be in a relationship and has financial security on their mind between the man and the woman, I'm going to say the woman usually has financial security at I'm not saying it's number one, but it's up there compared to us men. We tend to grow up later. And the problem, Ursula, is the expectations out there. We throw out $100,000 a year. Oh, he needs to make 6 figures. They need to make 6 figures. Well, let's talk about what 6 figures are. Only 18% of American adults in the country make $100,000 a year. 18%. So that means that the rest don't. So there's a lot of people that are fighting for that 18%, for that financial security. So that makes it a little slim. And then some people have a criteria that says, well, he needs to make six figures and he needs to be over 6 feet tall. It shrinks even more. So you got a whole lot of people fighting.
Unrealistic expectations. Yeah. Now, I just want to bring up another forecast that estimates that 45% of women, get this, 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be single and childless by 2030. And that is by choice.
Look, here's a sweeping statement, Ursula. Women are okay being alone way more than men.
Kara, the cleaning lady, agrees with you. Yep, I'm one of them.
I'm telling you.
I'm so happy alone.
I'm telling you. and that's why going to Thanksgiving is coming up, and you're going to go to Thanksgiving, and there's always that auntie. Or like my mama that said, oh, baby, are you married yet? What are you waiting for?
No.
Those days are over.
Yeah, more often than not, they'll say, nope, and I'm just fine without it.
We had no idea that the auntie in the 80s that was single but always had the money living in a condo, life was good. Matter of fact, I'm talking about, I got some family members that did that exact same thing. My mama judged them, but they live in a good life. My one auntie lived in the same building as Oprah Winfrey.
Oh.
Life good. No kids. All right. Coming up next, Eduardo Jordan. Maybe we'll ask Eduardo about the dating scene. But he is going to come in here and talk about why a lot of restaurants here in Seattle are failing every time. We just talked about Skillet recently. Some of their doors are getting ready to close. And why it's so expensive to eat. So we'll do all that next. Gee and Ursula.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
John Curley here. Attention landlords. Let's say you've owned a rental for 20 years. Tenants are calling at 1 a.m. It's another problem you would love to sell, but those taxes keep you stuck. Many properties today are producing less cash flow than a high-yield savings account. Some landlords are working harder than ever for 1 to 3% return. That's why Madrona Financial and CPAs are hosting a free landlord retirement plan workshop November 18th in Kirkland, November 19th in Tacoma, and November 20th back in Kirkland, all at 3 p.m. Madrona does things differently. They're wealth advisors and CPAs, so they understand both investments and taxes. You'll learn strategies like how to sell without triggering massive capital gains, or how to avoid depreciation recapture surprises, and why DSTs are becoming so popular with retired landlords. Only 10 seats per workshop. Call 833-673-7373 to reserve yours. That's 833-673-7373.
One day, the words on the page blur. You hold the menu a little farther away. It's subtle until it's not. At Near and Far Vision Partners, we help you see clearly, near, far, and in between. Expert surgeons, advanced technology, sharper focus for every moment. Schedule your complimentary consultation at nearandfarvision.com or call 425-900-2414. Near and Far Vision Partners in Bothell.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, they just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you're always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
At Bank of America, we asked our teammates, what makes this company a great place to work?
There's very little that you can't accomplish working for Bank of America.
If you prove yourself, you can try over in a totally new way.
You can learn so much here. You're the owner of your career.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Celebrate the Taj Mahal Quintet's 30th anniversary performing at Dimitro's Jazz Alley, November 21st through 30th. Don't miss these living icons. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Smokey Robinson, December 1st and 2nd.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Steve Kathan. The Justice Department admits the grand jury that charged former FBI Director James Comey wasn't presented with a copy of the final indictment. CBS's Katrina Kaufman says Comey's lawyers say that's grounds for dismissal.
Interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan first presented the grand jury with one indictment that had 3 counts. They only indicted Comey on 2 of those counts. Instead of then presenting that final indictment to the grand jury again, we're learning from her exchange with the judge that it appears she just edited that first indictment and only showed it to the foreperson and then one other grand juror.
President Trump today addressing the U.S. Saudi Investment Forum in Washington.
And yesterday, the Crown Prince announced that the number that they'll be investing in the United States is $1 trillion. So that's really an honor.
Trump has been lobbying the Crown Prince to commit to invest more. The bill to compel the Justice Department to release the Epstein files is now at the White House. The president has said he will sign it. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
The Congress has spoken, that the president will process that, and there's no delays in this at all. I mean, it's moving forward.
Harvard University's reopened an investigation into former school president and Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, who's been linked to Epstein. Summers quit the board of OpenAI. Number of major accidents involving military aircraft spiked in 2024, according to internal Pentagon figures. And CBS's Cammie McCormick tells us it's a trend that's continuing this year.
The Associated Press, citing internal Pentagon figures, reports a series of accidents in 2025 suggests that trend has continued. Across the military, the rate of severe accidents per 100,000 flight hours rose 55% in 2024 compared with 4 years earlier. The Marine Corps saw the highest increase, nearly triple.
On the Health Watch today, a long-term study analysis published in the Lancet Medical Journal found ultra-processed foods are fueling all kinds of chronic diseases worldwide. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
These Lancet studies combined data from a number of long-term studies looking at what are the health risks of ultra-processed foods. So we see an increased risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, depression, and even early death.
Well, Ford is recalling more than 200,000 Bronco and Bronco Sport vehicles because an instrument panel can fail, increasing the risk of a crash. Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is down 38 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are trading higher. This is CBS News.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
The prime suspect in a Seattle cold case goes to court. The story coming up. At first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In the Tacoma area, there is road work underway on I-5 in both directions near State Route 16. That's going to wrap up this afternoon. In Pacific, 3rd Avenue Southwest is closed where it crosses under State Route 167. Crews are repairing the bridge that was damaged by an overheight truck, and that construction will not be finished until next year. Travel times are at or less than what we'd expect this time of day, and your lake bridges have nearly cleared out. Traffic brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Fresh food comes from local farms. For healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s, choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs. Locally fresh since 1909.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A man accused in a decades-old Seattle murder case faces a judge. More from KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
Mark Anthony Russ was arrested earlier this month in the disappearance and death of Tanya Marie Frazier in 1994. We talked with Frazier's family, who's hoping this is the beginning of long-awaited justice.
We're hoping to see this through. We'll be here every day and pray for justice.
Police arrested Russ after his DNA was linked to Tanya's murder.
A Tacoma business hired a man to play Santa at a holiday event and then found out he allegedly killed his wife. Robert Selland pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity in 2011 and spent nearly a decade at a psychiatric hospital. The family that owns Taqueria El Carbon tells KIRO 7 TV they only recently found out about that.
We've basically told him that for the time being to not come around until we have a chance to speak to the family.
The sister of the victim says she is grateful. Big job cuts at Seattle-based Providence Swedish. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibau reports.
At Providence Swedish, 296 jobs are set to be eliminated. That's nearly 4% of the company's workers at Swedish First Hill, Cherry Hill, Issaquah, and Ballard Hospital campuses in Swedish Medical Group. The company announced Tuesday the cuts will span across more than 100 departments, including frontline and clinical staff, administrative roles, support positions, and management.
Washington State is taking in less money than predicted. State economists say projections are down $66 million because of weaker housing and job growth. Governor Bob Ferguson says he'll propose a balanced budget in December that he says protects core services but still invests in key areas. Well, in case there was any doubt, Mariners first baseman Josh Naylor loves playing in Seattle.
Josh Naylor could not hold back from smiling.
I mean, from day one, it was just love.
Reflecting on his stint with the Mariners last season.
I honestly woke up every day and I couldn't wait to leave to go to work just to see everyone.
Naylor was traded to Seattle in July. Now he is choosing to stay through 2030.
I wanted to come back to give this fan base and this city and my teammates and their families a World Series in the next 5 years.
Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy today with highs near 50. It's 43 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. November 19th. Appreciate you hanging out here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, coming up in a little bit, we are going to announce some more of our Moments of Joy basket winners and share some of their stories. The stories really touched a lot of you who were listening yesterday, so we are going to do that again a little bit later this hour. And also, coming up at 10:33, we do You Be the Judge. But as always, right now, you can join us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
The news that Skillet is shutting down 3 locations is a major blow to a lot of their fans, but it also points a much bigger problem. It is tougher than ever for a restaurant to survive in Seattle these days between the rising labor costs, inflation, public safety concerns. Running a restaurant in Seattle has gone basically from difficult to nearly impossible. And joining us right now is 2-time James Beard Award winner, Chef Eduardo Jordan. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we wanted to, first of all, just start with an overview of the restaurant industry in Seattle. What have you seen in the last couple of years? What do you think are the biggest issues?
One, there has been a lot of transitioning and pivoting based on how to make a profit, scaling down from full service into kind of QR code into counter service have been some of the options that restaurateurs had to make. And now we're still trying to figure out how to make it. You know, there was a average about a 5 to 8% profit margin about 5 or 6 years ago. Then that dropped down to a 3% profit margin, and now we're down to about a 1.5 profit margin. Oof. So
the other day, I met the owner of Cookies Country Chicken.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and he was listening to you on with us, and it was him. He's kind of the reason why I wanted you to come back, because he told me, Cookie himself did, he told me that having you on really helps, and the information that you're giving is actually real information to help people better understand what's going on with restaurants in Seattle while we keep seeing them closed down.
Right.
So let's go over this one. Let's talk about third-party delivery apps.
Right on.
Right? Some of us love it. How about the restaurant? Do they pick and choose like, yes, do it, but if I do it, I can't stop? Tell us what third-party delivery apps have done to restaurants in Seattle.
I think third-party restaurant apps, we don't need to name them per se, have been a blessing and a curse for restaurants. I think restaurants that did not need that kind of service had to jump into that service during COVID. Mm-hmm. And so it was seen as a revenue stream because people were not coming to the restaurants. They had no choice. But these restaurant owners had to keep the doors open, and so these third parties allowed the opportunity for food to still come out the doors. Mm-hmm. With the number of people not going to restaurants still, they had to depend on these apps, which cut into the bottom line. There's usually a 30% markup of some sorts that goes into these apps. Either the restaurateur or the owner is going to have to eat that cost, or you're going to put it into the food cost or give it to the consumer in another manner. When consumers see this, that's sticker shock. Yes, there's a convenience of getting that food delivered to your home, but there is also a sticker shock. So how many times do you order from a higher end restaurant that's going to be smaller than, you know, the kind of counter service restaurant that we all are familiar with that are kind of easy grab and go to go home kind of food? So it affects the bottom line because you're depending on this revenue stream that is now part of your business structure, you know, maybe 10 to 15% of your business structure that is not actually conducive to bringing in a profit at all.
So you said it was a blessing and a curse. So it sounds like it's cutting into your margin, but it also sounds like people are not willing to give it up. Yeah. So what's the solution?
I think that's the $1 million question of what's the solution. I think both parties have to bend. There has to be some give from the restaurant, and there also has to be some give from the third parties. We've seen these fees go up more and more over the years, and I think there was a cap put on a few years ago, and I'm not sure if that has been released or not. But there has to be some give, and then also the consumer has to realize that there's a convenience fee with that food coming to your home. So there's going to have to be some kind of give that you have to, you know, give up on that end too. It's going to be more expensive.
Okay, here's another one. How about the city's regulations, taxes, and permitting processes, right? How has that had an impact? Wait, two questions. How has that had an impact on you? And what can the new mayor-elect, Katie Wilson, do to help?
I mean, I think the impact is always initial. When you're trying to open up your establishment, you have a set budget. Let's just say you had $200,000 to build out this restaurant, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to come into all of these overage fees, and it's typically because of permits and delays in construction, which could have been avoided if some things were moving on time. And a lot of the times it's the permitting, it's the extra taxes, it's the filing fees, it's all of this that are required to open up the business. So the whole process of opening a new business in Seattle isn't the most convenient process, which becomes more expensive because time is money, money is wasted, et cetera. What can the new mayor do? There's a lot that will need to be dissected and digested. She's coming in with some heavy bags to carry. And I'm not saying that Bruce did not do a great job. I think over the years there has been a lot of things that kind of fell in Seattle's lap that we had to deal with from the COVID. Obviously, the pandemic has affected all the restaurants in some manner. We keep voting in new taxes, which is beneficial for covering costs of running this city, right? There's new minimum wages. There's
let's put an emphasis on that one. You kind of glossed over that. That's a big one.
I mean, but these are the things that people are voting in, and now we're dealing with them now. And I think what impacts us most is the tip credit in the restaurant industry. And if Katie Wilson is not addressing those four factors, there's not going to be anything that's going to make a change.
Well, okay.
And I was going to say, can we talk about that? Because maybe a lot of people don't realize that the tip credit basically expired in January, which means that every restaurant now has to pay that $21 an hour minimum wage before tips.
Before tips.
And what impact, let's get specific. Like, if you could pick the one thing that has really hurt restaurants the most in Seattle, what is it?
I mean, the minimum wage has been the most impactful problem in the restaurant. There's three factors that are affecting the restaurant, and we can jump on those as needed, but let's dive into the minimum wage. Morally, I understand the need to have a minimum wage in Seattle, which we now classify as a living wage. But I think there needs to be a difference between minimum wage and living wage, because, I think about it back in the day when I was running my restaurants. I had a sophomore and junior in high school coming to work for me, washing dishes, and they're getting the living minimum wage in Seattle. And these people have never learned how to, crack open an egg or sweep a floor or tape a box. And I'm teaching them. That's different than a skilled worker who has been in the industry for 10 and 12 years, and they're worth their mustard in the kitchen or on the floor serving food. And so the tip credit kind of balances that out, that everyone will get a quote-unquote good minimum wage, and we're able to accommodate this extra cushion through the service charge or the tip that consumers decide or willingly support.
You guys are listening to the voice of Eduardo Jordan here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Eduardo Jordan, 2 times James Beard Award winner, and has owned restaurants here in the Seattle area. And we're talking about restaurant failures and what's been happening with restaurants.
Okay, Seattle was recently ranked as the most expensive city for takeout in the entire country. And add that on top of everything that you have just described. Talk about that impact.
Well, here's the 3 factors that are affecting why we have the most expensive restaurants in the country. And this was franchise restaurants. They haven't even broke it down to like independently owned restaurants, which we are probably number one now. If the franchise restaurants are number one, then we definitely are number one. Obviously, like New York and Chicago and San Francisco have more higher end restaurants, which you will pay more money at any given time. But the factors that are affecting us is, one, the minimum wage, which we talked about, rents, and then the cost of goods. All of those 3 factors, we're like number one in the nation on all of these factors. Our rents are equally to New York and Chicago and San Francisco. Our cost of goods are equally, or if not more, and our minimum wage is number one. That now makes us the number one most expensive places to eat in or out in the nation, point blank.
So why would anyone want to open a restaurant in Seattle?
I mean, I hate to say this, you're crazy if you want to, but we
wait. Did you say you're crazy if you want to?
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream, and I still have the itch of opening a restaurant because I enjoy feeding people. I enjoy nurturing people and bringing people in and restoring their soul through good food.
And you're really good at it.
Thank you. But at the end of the day, the bottom line has to add up. Like, we have to come home with something to be able to feed our own families. And if it's not adding up, it's a bad decision at that point in time.
A lot of people, they say, I want to eat local. I want the local restaurants. I want to go to the local. But from your side of things, are people really showing up to the local, or are they showing up to the chain restaurants? Tell us what angle on that.
I would say people aren't showing up in general. We've we're not a city known for chain restaurants per se. If you look at the landscape of restaurants in our city, we kind of don't let too many big chain restaurants in. We have a lot of independent restaurants. Now, the chain restaurants that have been here, a lot of them have left or are closing doors. Same thing for our independent restaurants. So equally, I think people are just not showing up. It costs too much to eat out. Before your average check was about $45 to eat out. Now it's $60, $65 for one person. So that's a 15 to 20% increase in your bill over the last 2 to 3 years. Now you add in a family of 4 and 5, you're spending $200 to $300 to eat out. Now let's go backwards a little bit. When it costs $110 to feed a family of 4, you could potentially go out once, twice, 3 times a month, even more. But when it costs $200 to $300, you're going to cut back and figure out ways to kind of make that not your priority, which is eating out, even though you want to support local.
You said something earlier, and we were talking about, you said to Ursula, you talked about obviously the taxes, you talked about the living wage, all of those things. Well, I think it's fair to say there's not going to be any let up on the taxes. Okay? There's
or the minimum wage.
Or the minimum wage.
Right.
Okay? So
it's increasing, actually.
So realistically,
right?
And there's people that listen to the show. Realistically, what can really be done to really help out these restaurants?
I mean, I think, one, we have to go back to addressing the tip credit and figuring out how to cushion that gap, living wage, minimum wage, and being able to pay our employees properly. I think there has to be other incentives to build a restaurant and invest your time and energy into it, and that is like capping rents, making commercial spaces more affordable. If that's the city supporting landlords in some manner so that the landlords can give back. If it's some type of tax credit to the business owners who decide to open up a space, we call it the city TI. It's some incentive to actually build a restaurant. I don't know what the answer is just yet. I know, and hopefully Katie Wilson's team is listening. They're going to have to build a coalition of small business owners to sit down and have some think tanks about how to actually make this happen. And hopefully on that committee and that group, there's a heavy influence of restaurant owners, because we're feeling it more than most business owners in this city, point blank. I don't have the all answer to figure this out, but as a collective, like, we're talking. I don't know if anyone's hearing us.
And I know the remote work or work from home was a big hit in
I was just going
downtown. And there's a lot of debate over, whether more people should come back into the office. I mean, unless that changes, do you see it getting better?
I forgot about that, and I think we did talk about this a little bit before. That has had a big impact on our city, 100%, and until people are filling these buildings and these spaces, if that's not happening, these places below, which is normally the retail spaces, aren't going to be able to survive, because these are the people that are patronizing it before.
Okay.
It's true.
Ursula, by the way, I was about to go there. All right, so I'll tell you what I believe, and then I'm going to ask you to go from there. I believe none of the changes that you suggested are going to be made anytime soon.
Amen.
Okay? That's number one.
So now what?
Right. So if no changes are made, we want to know from you, what is it going to look like 5-10 years from now in Seattle? Tell me the truth.
I went to Detroit about 20 years ago, and I saw the impact of closures and the city not supporting small businesses and putting all their money into, like, the Fords, right, into these big conglomerates. And the big conglomerates forgot about the rest of the city. And I saw how decimated that city was for years. And it has taken about 15 years for Detroit to have a rebound. we might have a great flushing of Seattle to actually get rid of the to actually start over again.
Well,
that sounds bleak.
When you say start over, what do you mean?
There's going to be a lot of empty spaces in Seattle. And those empty spaces, the rent is going to have to go down because the landlord is going to have a come to Jesus moment of like, I cannot charge this much for rent anymore because I can't find anyone that can actually take this space. The city is going to realize that our city is desolate now. It's a ghost town. We got issues. We got people leaving the city. So people leaving the city means people aren't building new spaces and places. Tourism is down because there's no places for people to actually come and patronize. The city becomes a little bleak. And then we are going to have real conversation to make real change.
And maybe if that doesn't happen, this opens up opportunities in other places like Olympia, Tacoma,
100%.
Bothell,
They move on and then into other states.
Yeah. Eduardo, thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Very eye-opening.
Yeah, it is. and you know what's interesting that he picked Detroit. Detroit is where I'm getting ready to go to next week.
Uh-huh.
And it's interesting. My buddy, when we're going there, he's like, man, it's been years, but we finally starting to come back.
Yep.
In Detroit right now. So it's funny you mentioned that. All right, good stuff. That was Eduardo Jordan. Love it when he comes on. He actually makes folks think. Coming up next, Ursula's favorite, You Be the Judge. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO Newsradio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us, clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Safeway, Albertsons, or Town and Country markets. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
JTV, Jewelry Television. With 80,000 jewelry looks, we're kind of a big deal. Even bigger with new lines of designer handbags, fragrances, and more. And biggest of all, because you could win a 7-night stay in Bali, spending money, and thousands worth of JTV jewelry, making you kind of a big deal. Enter by December 7th at jtv.com/sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Then watch JTV on TV or shop jtv.com for big holiday deals.
Hey there, Don Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is so delightful. Heat up the season and gift yourself year-round wellness from Olympic. A soak in a saltwater hot spring spa is pure bliss, the perfect escape at the end of the day. Or warm body and soul in a Tilo sauna, your ideal retreat. Heck, you deserve both. Our Heat Up the Season savings end November 23rd. Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope, included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Husky Nation, rivalry for a reason is on, and every dollar you donate counts as a vote against food insecurity. 100% helps families in need thanks to Northwest Harvest and Safeway. Let's outgive the Ducks. Go to dogsvsducks.org now.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Former FBI Director James Comey says there's a critical reason why the case against him must be dismissed. CBS's Katrina Kaufman says his attorneys claim he was never really charged.
There is no indictment that Comey is facing. It actually was never voted on or seen by a full grand jury.
The attorney assigned to the case by President Trump has never prosecuted one before. Comey has pleaded not guilty to charges of making a false statement and obstructing Congress. The bill to force the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files could reach President Trump's desk any moment.
All 10 representatives in our state and both senators voted yes on the bipartisan bill, then fell right back on party lines. Republican Michael Baumgartner telling the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM.
They've used it as a tool to try to attack President Trump.
Democrat Susan Del Benny said it should never have come to a vote.
Donald Trump could have released this information at any time.
The bill still allows the Justice Department to withhold files that could compromise investigations or violate personal privacy. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has declared one of the largest Muslim civil rights groups in the U.S. a foreign terrorist organization. He claims the Council on American Islamic Relations has ties to Hamas and wants to impose Sharia law on Americans. CARE Deputy Director Edward Ahmed Mitchell calls that
it is illegal, it's defamatory, and God willing, it's not going to stand.
Pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside the Microsoft campus in Redmond. The group is calling for Microsoft to cut all ties to the Israeli military.
There's no legal, ethical, or moral way of doing any business with an entity that is committing genocide and ethnic cleansing. That's why we're calling for full divestment.
In a statement, Microsoft says, "We respect the right to peaceful assembly and ask that it be done in a way that does not cause business disruptions." Seattle is suing businesses that the city says skipped years of paying Metropolitan Improvement District fees. The Puget Sound Business Journal points out those fees pay for downtown ambassadors who keep the streets clean and safe. The city seeking $4.5 million. Mortgage rates surged to their highest level in a month. CBS's Jason Brooks.
Home buyer affordability issues have dampened home sales in 2025, and the market is feeling increasing pressure, with the Mortgage Bankers Association reporting that the 30-year fixed rate rose 3 basis points to 6.37%.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 22 points, NASDAQ up 45. KIRO News Radio traffic in Bellevue, a big crash blocking 3 lanes on I-405 southbound near Northeast 8th Street. You're backed up to Northeast 85th Street, and your drive is taking you about 15 minutes extra. Other travel times are looking pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 21. Renton to Bellevue, 21. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women, offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue, ProSculpt.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy today with highs near 50. It's 44 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. We sure appreciate you hanging out with us on this Wednesday morning. It is time now for... Hold it. What did you say during the morning meeting?
You can strike that from the record. You can strike that from the record. You got to
Your
go
Honor?
on what I
Your
said
Honor.
today.
Yep. You be the judge. And we're going to start off in Snohomish County, where a family is taking 2 massive tech platforms to court. We're talking about Roblox and Discord. And this family is claiming that the companies failed to protect their 14-year-old daughter from online predators. In this federal lawsuit, the family says a guy posing as another kid contacted the girl on Roblox and then steered her over to Discord, where he allegedly coerced her into sending explicit images. And the complaint accuses both of those companies of creating breeding grounds for predators, making sure that they profit over anything else, and misleading parents into thinking that these platforms were safe. Now, the attorneys say they even found Roblox games referencing Epstein Island, and argue that the company's design and moderation practices made kids too accessible to predators, and the teen is now dealing with trauma and a lasting fear after that alleged exploitation. But these companies say they have strict safety policies. They also have parental controls and teams dedicated to catching grooming and abuse. And they say they've invested heavily in safety just this year alone, including limiting chat for the young users and requiring that they verify their age for communication features. So this is an awful case, but who is
it's
liable?
a slam dunk right here. These platforms are liable. And here's how I know it's starting to work, because right now people are getting a buddy of mine. By the way, it wasn't anything in sexual nature or anything, but a buddy of mine just got suspended and from Facebook for a week because of something he said on the inbox messenger to someone. So now they are taking this serious and they're going in through all of that. See, they didn't it used to be on if you did it in the open. Now they're going into the inboxes. So to your point, let's be the judge. In this case, give this family the money right away, because these companies
Don't even take it to court.
Don't even take it to court. Take this money.
Okay, I say take it to court. However, there are way more things that these companies can do to try to safeguard their products. But I think that a lot of these companies are also realizing, that's where a lot of their bread and butter is. That's a lot of where their money comes from, is unfortunately at the expense of exploiting kids and making it too easy for kids to get in. And why is Epstein Island even part of a Roblox game? I'm not familiar enough with these games. And Chef, maybe you can go ahead.
No, I didn't know anything about that, but I want to just full transparency, the whole Roblox thing. And I think it was around the pandemic, around that time, my friends' kids, that's all they were doing. Everybody was on the Roblox stuff. And so me, I go to the stock market, right? And I buy shares of stock, of Roblox. I'm like, I buy a bunch. I'm like,
Because
oh, man.
you're like, okay, the kids are addicted.
Because the kids are addicted. But then my buddy started talking about the pitfalls and the dangers of it. And I said, oh, heck no. Boop. I sold all of that back in 2021. I was off that. So, and then now to hear these stories coming up now, I believe that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, so how much, okay, just for arguments purposes, because I think you're right. I think the companies are going to end up paying out. But it's unrealistic, I believe, to think parental supervision is going to safeguard your kid in all occasions.
Exactly.
It's just like, what if you're at work? You can't, or I think that there is parental responsibility. I just think that if these things didn't exist on these games, we wouldn't have this issue. Like, it shouldn't be so easily used to exploit kids.
Yeah, agree.
Just a quick explanation on the Roblox thing. So like Minecraft in Roblox, you can create your own world, and so I can create a battleship, or I can create an island and make it whatever it's supposed to be. So if I name it Epstein Island inappropriately, it's not an existing feature of the game.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I was like, now how do the kids know that one? Okay, now there's a story out of China that is stirring up a lot of emotional debate about love and loss and how we move on. So this guy named Zhu Junmin made headlines years ago when he cryogenically preserved his wife after she died of lung cancer. Now, she was only 49 years old, and he signed a 30-year agreement to keep her body stored in liquid nitrogen, hoping that someday, somehow, future technology might bring her back. But now we're learning something new. Since 2020, he has been dating someone else. And the internet apparently wants to weigh in on this. Now, some people, G, say it's been long enough that his wife deserves to rest in peace and that he deserves companionship after years alone. But others are calling this selfish, arguing that he froze his wife in the name of devotion only to move on emotionally while her body remains in a steel tank at 190 degrees. You be the judge.
First, I want to say.
This is weird.
I want to say, that's cold. Okay, after that simmers a little bit, I just want to tell you guys something, because I said something to you guys this morning, and I'll say it again. It wasn't until like about 5-6 years ago that I found out that Walt Disney really wasn't frozen. Because it was a thing. Y'all never heard about Walt Disney is actually frozen, and so he wanted to preserve himself for years to come. So I actually thought that was a thing. Good old internet helped your boy out.
Okay.
Just the same way y'all thought Christopher Columbus discovered America, I thought Walt Disney was still frozen.
You found something else out. Now, do you know that there are more than 500 people worldwide have been preserved by being frozen?
Dumb and Dumber said it, so you say it's a chance.
In case you're wondering, no one has ever been brought back. On the case of should he move on, I'm glad he moved on.
I mean, if you gonna freeze your wife, you should freeze your life. Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
Things you never thought you'd say.
Wow. But wait. Did you guys ever hear about Walt Disney being frozen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you believe it at any point? Did anybody believe it? Chef, did you believe it?
They're still looking for Bigfoot.
I'd never heard that.
Oh, you never heard that?
Nope.
Nick, did you ever hear about that?
I heard about that one. There's another one too that Ted Williams froze his head.
See?
Yeah.
Did you believe it though?
I don't know if I believe that one.
Well, somebody go text in. I know I ain't the only one crazy. Coming up next, we got scenarios, and it has to do with pickleball. Gee and Ursula.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain. And they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Carpoolers using the SR 167 Express toll lanes now need a flex pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Husky Nation, rivalry for a reason is on, and every dollar you donate counts as a vote against food insecurity. 100% helps families in need thanks to Northwest Harvest and Safeway. Let's outgive the Ducks. Go to dogsvsducks.org now.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership and has the state's largest selection. Get the 2025 Crosstrek at 1.9% financing for 72 months. And during the Share the Love event, Subaru donates $250 for every new Subaru purchase to one of 6 charities, including hometown favorite Paws. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 11/30/25.
Celebrate the Taj Mahal Quintet's 30th anniversary performing at Dimitros Jazz Alley, November 21st through 30th. Don't miss these living icons. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Smokey Robinson, December 1st and 2nd.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, everybody. Let's get to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I'm terrible at pickleball, mostly because I hate it and think it's a stupid game. But my wife loves it so much that that's all she does in her free time. That's all she talks about. It's like the folks that you know that always talk about how much they do CrossFit. She knows I don't love it, but I still play with her, and now she wants me to take lessons so we can enter tournaments. I told her to find a partner that is better at playing, but she says she wants to spend time with me. This is her obsession, not mine. What do I do? Ursula, before you go, and before 888-973-5476, text in, listen, man, I know G is not the one to listen to about relationships. but dog. You said, I told her to find a partner that is better at playing, and she tells me she wants to spend more time with me. Bruh!
Be careful what you wish for. That's what G's saying. She may just find a partner.
Find yourself
really
a
good at
pickleball.
She says, no, I want to spend time with you.
Yes.
And you're like, go find a partner?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I think you nailed it.
Oh!
Now, I think there are ways to go about it. How about just try one time or try a couple of times, and you might be surprised that you might actually enjoy it. But just to flat out say, nah, I don't want to, find somebody else, is essentially telling her, I'm just not that into you.
And I get it. I know that sometimes that they might have some hobbies and things that they do, and you're like, can I do something else? But she is telling you,
yes,
I want to spend more time with you. Can you come do this with me? You better get an AI bot or something. Get a stand-in.
Now, there are things, though, as you said, there are things that in relationships, I am perfectly okay if Mark has zero interest in them, and Mark is perfectly okay if I have zero interest in those things.
Right. Same.
For example,
Yep.
if he wants to watch all the historical documentaries, go right ahead. Okay? I'm not, I'm going to fall asleep, and it's not going to be me.
Right.
So that's fine. But when it comes to something that someone is really passionate about, your partner, your loved one, and they say, I really want you to be part of this because it would be really fun. Unless you really suck at it, at least give it a try.
Yeah.
A for effort.
I got a question for you because for some reason the idea of her getting a partner to do pickleball is like more threatening than going out with a coworker to lunch. It seems like to me because it's her passion, right? So I have a question for you both. Are you okay? And I already know your answer, Ursula. Are you generally okay with an opposite sex partner having a golf coach or a tennis coach or a personal trainer or a guitar teacher who's opposite gender and gets to spend that one-on-one time with your partner? Because that's the same thing she's asking to do.
My wife had a business coach that was a man. Yeah, what are we talking about?
Okay. Well, then why would you be worried in this situation?
Because this person specifically said, I want to spend more time with you. Come do this with me.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen this before.
Personally?
I've seen this before.
No, but to your point, Chef, Yes, you already know my answer because, yes, I have had of the opposite sex, whether it's a guitar teacher or, yes, you do. And, for example, my husband has said, hey, because I keep threatening to go to the gym on a regular basis. Hey, I'm just keeping it real.
I think the thought is threatening to you. I don't know.
No, and he says, you know what, that would be great, and they have great trainers at the gym, and blah, 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 blah. You know, I know that they're male trainers. He would think zero if I ended up with a male trainer.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm weird, but if my wife wanted to take guitar lessons from someone and pour out her soul and her emotions in a private room for an hour or two, I'd prefer she have a female teacher.
Ah, interesting.
I'm okay admitting that.
Yeah. Allie in Tacoma said, a wise man once said, if you freeze your wife, you freeze your life.
This is so true.
Allie, I don't know how that came up. I've never said that before a day in my life.
Put that on a billboard.
Nick!
I think the dude is walking on eggshells how he set this whole thing up. You open the door for her to find that partner you were talking about, and it might not just be for pickleball after that. So if you want to avoid any competition off the court from here, strap on those sneakers, get yourself a good racket, and freshen up those skills so you don't take your mind off the prize of keeping your lady. And I don't want to hear any whining about being sore once you get going. It's part of the conditioning and getting what you wished for, really.
You are so right about conditioning, though. And I will tell you, as a former tennis player who has now started pickleball is a workout.
Yeah.
Don't think it's just a little, whoop, whop, whoop, whop,
yeah,
and not moving. You're moving.
I just want to give a message to B and Puyallup. B and Puyallup, listen, man. You've been hanging out with our show for years. Here's the thing, B. I love you, but you only comment during scenarios. That's the only time you text us, man.
And does he fly his freak flag during scenarios?
That's B. Look, B and Puyallup.
Yeah, come on, you know what I'm talking about.
B,
We're always looking at his text message like, what?
Yeah. B, we live through you, my boy. All right. We got the 11 o'clock hour coming up next. And, we were going to talk about one thing. We were going to be talking about Piggy, but nope, we're not doing that. We're not talking, no.
Yeah, we're not. No. Although I would ask you to look up the term Piggy and who he was talking about. We just don't have it in us to talk about that.
Yeah, we don't do that. Mm-mm. All right. More to Gee Ursula Show next.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas, and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building, with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There's been a major development in the criminal case against former FBI Director James Comey. Prosecutors acknowledged today the grand jury wasn't presented with a copy of the final indictment. Legal analyst Lori Levinson is following it all.
It would not be surprising if the trial judge dismissed the indictment. And they brought this case right up against the statute of limitations. So I doubt that there would be another opportunity for the prosecution to go back after Comey, no matter how much the president or the attorney general would like to do so.
That admission came during a hearing in which Comey's lawyers argued the prosecution was vindictive. Comey has pleaded not guilty to charges he lied to Congress. The legislation to force the Justice Department to release the Epstein files is now on its way to the White House for the president's signature. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi has the latest on when the public may get a look.
After all of this, it's not going to be for another 30 days or so. Essentially, when the president would sign this into law, it kicks off a 30-day timeline for the Justice Department to release these files. So December 19th is the next big date we need to look at as to whether or not we're going to get this big tranche of files perhaps in one big dump. Perhaps they're going to leak them out over time.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has declared one of the largest Muslim civil rights groups in the U.S. a foreign terrorist organization. Edward Ahmed Mitchell is deputy director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, which Abbott says has direct ties to Hamas.
We have zero connections to any foreign interests at all, not Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, or any other foreign organization. We answer to the American people, period.
Wall Street is unsettled ahead of a profit report by NVIDIA, but there are other economic concerns today, like the holiday shopping season. Target says its third quarter profits tumbled as shoppers struggle under high inflation, and it expects the slump to extend through the critical holiday season. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
So the company is not doing particularly well. We saw the third consecutive quarter where sales declined. Part of it is Target has struggled when it comes to its brand. There's been a lot of backlash because some of the choices that they have made, but also more generally, they are looking at a consumer that is tightening the belt. They saw consumers not come into their stores as much, also not frequent their website as much. They spent less every single time.
Tomorrow, investors will be keeping an eye on Walmart's report. On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow is currently up 39 points. The Nasdaq's higher by 91. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
An arrest in the deadly shooting of teenaged Lacey brothers. The story coming up, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Bellevue, the crash has been cleared from I-405 southbound near Northeast 8th Street. You're still backed up to Northeast 112th Street. Travel times overall not bad. Everett to Seattle, 31 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 19. Renton to Bellevue, 18. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. Move-in ready homes from D.R. Horton, America's builder, across Puget Sound and Central Washington. Find your home at drhorton.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A Lacey man has been arrested in connection with the fatal drive-by shooting of two teenaged brothers in Pierce County. Lacey police say the 20-year-old suspect was taken into custody this morning. The suspect is at the Thurston County Jail on suspicion of first-degree murder and drive-by shooting. A Tacoma business says it had no idea the man they hired for a holiday event, Robert Selland, allegedly killed his wife. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman spoke to the business and to the wife's sister.
If you think Cheryl was shocked to learn that Selland was planning to play Santa during the holidays in this parking lot,
I couldn't imagine a child sitting on a murderer's lap.
So was the business who owns it.
On behalf of my parents who run this establishment, they just want to apologize
and make things right.
We've basically told him that for the time being to not come around.
What goes through your head when you hear that?
I'm grateful. You know, he's not going to be there.
Selland pleaded not guilty in his wife's murder by reason of insanity and was released from a psychiatric hospital last year. Providence Swedish plans to eliminate nearly 300 positions in the Puget Sound area in the next few months. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibau has more.
Those impacted employees will transition out early next year. Providence Swedish blames growing financial challenges like Medicaid cuts, rising state taxes, and fewer patients coming in. They say the recently passed H.R. 1 or the Big Beautiful Bill Act will cut safety net programs even further.
The CEO of Swedish Health Services says the layoffs are necessary to sustain the group. Economists say the state is going to take in about $66 million less than first thought due to weaker job and housing markets. Republican Representative Travis Couture just released a statement. He claims revenue is falling because overtaxed families and businesses are reining in spending. An act of generosity by a Pierce County woman. KIRO 7 TV's Allison Amoy reports.
Alicia Biesinger flew to Virginia to do something many never consider: donate a kidney to a complete stranger, Navy veteran Jim Ellis.
It was a perfect match. God sent her to me.
And while surgeons call living donors like Biesinger heroes, she simply says it was the right thing to do.
You have this gift inside of you, and so this was an opportunity to give it.
The number of living donors is about half the number of deceased donors, but the success rate is much higher.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs near 50. It's 45 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, November, that's right, 19th. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, coming up at 11:30 when we agree to disagree, what do you think the best gifts are when you want to send something to a loved one or a relative or a friend out of state, and you want to do something that is quintessential Seattle or Washington? What is the best gift to send? Text us 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. We got a lot to get to, so let's do it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
Washington Senator Maria Cantwell is taking direct aim at the massive and increasingly wild amounts of money flowing through college sports. Now, this is one of our favorite topics on the show. And the Spokesman Review says now that she is asking Congress's Joint Committee on Taxation to take a hard look at whether college athletic departments, conferences, and even those very high-paid coaches should continue getting tax-exempt status, given how commercialized this whole thing has become. In her letter, she says she has concerns about everything from the humongous coaching salaries to NIL collectives to whether student athletes should be treated as employees. She also zeroes in on the Big Ten's proposed $2.4 billion private equity deal, one that would give investors a 10% stake in the conference's media and sponsorship revenues. And she warns that Big Ten presidents that selling off university assets to private investors could end up clashing with their school's education mission. Let me just start there because that's a whole lot to... Yes. You still think that whole thing about getting an education on a scholarship is a big fat joke.
Yeah, it is a joke.
Yeah.
So what do you got for me?
Okay, so the question is, should they be taking a closer look? Do you agree with anything that Maria Cantwell is saying in terms of...
I agree with everything that Maria Cantwell had to say. The thing is that she's basically ringing the alarms. It's too late.
Oh.
And the reason why it's too late, I was telling Chef this morning, I had a buddy of mine back around 2016 that talked about exactly this, talking about the threat and the dangers of private equity in college sports. Oh, by the way, that person that was talking to me about it, he's in this game, by the way, today.
Oh.
Yeah, he got fully ahead of it. And so what am I trying to say? Listen, y'all, college sports, it's here. It's turned into Wall Street, baby. It doesn't care about non-student athletes. It doesn't care about education. It doesn't care about community. All they care about is the return on investment. You've already seen. Oh, as a matter of fact, let me ask you this. Ursula, you're telling me on Thanksgiving you guys are having a get-together.
Yes.
Are you guys watching the Apple Cup on Friday?
Yes.
Well, the Apple Cup is, remember, the Apple Cup was already in September, so you guys are watching the UW Oregon.
Oh, well,
so
yeah, that's right.
It used to be, right? It used to be tradition, right?
See, this is how much, and I'm actually supposed to be going to the game.
Okay.
The Oregon game, because I'm a Duck. Yeah,
right.
So I got confused when you were saying, are you watching it?
No doubt.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to show everyone it's too late. People are now seeing the amount of money that is coming. So it's not like folks are going to say, yeah, I hear what Maria Cantwell saying. I hear what Gee's saying. Listen, we don't want to make that much money, so let's go back to the tradition. That's never going to happen.
Or, okay, if they're not saying let's go back to the tradition, is there something that we can do, for example, about, let's say, them still getting these broad tax exemptions? I mean, if you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars remaining untaxed, is that something that should continue? Or is there a point there that this is money that it's a big revenue source, so shouldn't it be taxed? Why is it getting a tax exemption?
Right. That's a great question. And I'll tell you why I still continue to get a tax exemption, because most people are hearing this for the first time. It's not even big news. It's not even a big deal. People care more about Lois getting more in SNAP benefits than they care about something like this.
So let's change that. Let's make people be more aware. Yeah, right now, these colleges are under tax exemption status, and they're making big bucks. Everyone's making big bucks. And yeah, there can. And by the way, how about putting a cap on coaches' salaries? What do you think about that? That's something Washington Congressman Michael Baumgardner has introduced in Congress.
Okay, all right. Let's just say, everybody listening right now, you're like, yes, you know what? In the state of Washington, we want to put a cap on the salaries that they make. All right? Watch this. So then you have an opportunity to get this great college football coach. And that college football coach chooses not to come to the University of Washington because the salary will be capped. Do you think UW fans is okay with that?
Well, if everyone's playing under the same rules. like
if Baumgartner does this at a in Congress.
Yes, exactly. If it's a federal level, it's not just Washington being affected or the Big Ten being affected. How about all of them being affected?
It will never pass because there's parts of this country where they care where it goes God, football, then people. Like you know what I'm saying?
I'm with Maria Cantwell on this one. Though.
Me too.
I hope that you can do something because I think it's crazy that our football coaches are the highest paid state employees in Washington, in any state almost. Okay, you're laughing at me, but I think it's outrageous.
I believe you, and I believe most people think it's outrageous. But when game time comes and it's time to put on that UW jersey, nobody cares. And especially if they're winning. When your college football team's winning, you don't care what it takes. Excuse me, I shouldn't say you. Most don't care what it takes. As a matter of fact, people were perfectly fine for years with the motto the way it was set up. Hey, football player, be really good at scoring those touchdowns. We don't care that your family can't afford to get to the game. And oh, by the way, if we do win and the money goes to the school and to the coaches and you get a free pizza and a T-shirt.
Okay, I'm going to go with, I hear what you're saying, and you're saying it's too late. The horses are already out of the gate.
The Pac-12 doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
It's done. Well, I take that back. Two teams still exist, Oregon State and Washington State. And Washington State just fired their athletic director.
Yeah. Gee, you asked, or Ursula, you asked, how come they are treated like nonprofits? Little known fact, very, very few college athletic programs are self-sustaining with their revenue. There are 6 or 7 in the Big Ten, and virtually every other college athletic program in the nation has to take subsidies from student tuition and other fees in order to maintain themselves. So we're spending more and more money, and they are still losing money unless you're in that top 6 or 7.
Okay, I'm going with, I like what Senator Maria Cantwell is doing, even though it's already here. We're already dealing with it. I think just like with AI, I think that we need some safeguards. And yeah, it's already here. We're already dealing with some of the challenges posed by AI. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to find. You're smiling at me, G. But I'm just saying I'm not willing to just lay back and say, okay, do whatever. Continue however it's going right now. Because the truth is that you have already expressed on this show that you, for a lot of years, you've given up your football ticket so somebody can go with your husband. Yes.
You're not really a football fan like that. So therefore, you do care about the other side of it, right?
Yes.
And so what I'm saying to you is
not enough people are like me.
No.
Yeah. There are a lot of people who are like, no, football at all costs.
Did the Huskies win?
Tim in Olympia said coaches deserve every penny.
Yeah.
Now, wait, was it the last game or the game before that? No, Purdue was fine, but the game before that, I swear my husband was ready to just give up on his Huskies.
Oh, they lost to Wisconsin.
It all depends on the game. How passionate they are about the team.
Gee, that guy just said coaches deserve every dime.
That's what he's Tim in
Who's
Olympia.
that coach that just got fired that is going to get like $70 million of taxpayer money?
He just got picked up too. You talking about James Franklin from Penn State?
Oh yeah, totally deserves that.
No. You're talking about Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly's another one.
Yes.
Because coaching is the new football cartel. It's a drug cartel. You can get a whole bunch of money.
It's one of the most lucrative jobs. Fired football coach.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's talk about something else because voters in our state could soon be required to provide proof of citizenship, like a birth certificate or a passport, just to register to vote. That is the goal of a new initiative that is led by a political activist named Scott Pressler. And KOMO News is reporting that he's now traveling across the state trying to drum up support for Initiative IL 2612. If it passes, failing to provide that documentation before the 2027 election would mean that your registration would be canceled. Now, he says the current system leaves the door open for fraud, but opponents, including the state Democrats, call this a solution in search of a problem designed to disenfranchise voters. But this effort needs about 309,000 signatures by January 2nd to get this in front of lawmakers. What do you think?
I think trying to stop people from voting will always be a thing in this country. And I think, and I look back to people's lives. I know I get too serious with this topic, but I look back to when people's lives were lost and the amount of people who fought and people who just had to go through the most to vote. It's no different today. People they can't do what they used to do anymore. They can't grab cars and bury them, all that stuff. So when I look at this, it's further proof. And we had, what was her name? Haley on from King
Haley
County.
Watkins, King County elections.
I mean, they know. They know how well the voting system's here. They don't want to fight that. They just always want to make up a problem. So,
and I looked. And I encourage anyone who feels like this is a really good idea and we really need this because we really have a voter fraud problem. I encourage you to look on your own, do a deep dive, do research, talk to elections officials, do your own research. Because what I found is that Washington's own election audits have repeatedly found no real evidence of non-citizens voting. There were a few cases that were discovered, and it was mostly clerical errors from the DMV, and they were caught. So the problem with this, and if we're talking, because there's a talk about it nationwide, and some states pushing for this, millions of Americans, and we're talking especially, think about it, seniors, low-income residents, domestic violence survivors, tribal members, natural-born citizens, someone like me someone not like me, but if you don't have your passport ready, I was thinking of former green card holders who became U.S. citizens. I mean, basically, if you don't have those documents ready, this additional information would impact you. And I wanted to show some real cases because in Kansas, they ended up throwing out tens of thousands of perfectly legal registrations because people couldn't find their paperwork, their passport, or their birth certificate. And at the same time, Kansas prevented very few non-citizen registrations. So when the opponents say you are trying to find a solution where there's no problem, they're actually correct on this one. This would also be a very expensive proposition. I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars just to get in startup costs.
Yeah,
it's worth it if you win elections, though. Just to give the conservative perspective on this, or at least what I think is the fair one, is most conservatives would say, hey, when you register to vote here in Washington state, you're not required to prove you're a citizen. In fact, if you go to the DMV, you get your driver's license, it's just a little box you check that says, would you like to register to vote? And by that box, it says, under perjury of law, you must be a citizen. So if you check that box, which I can imagine some people do accidentally, perhaps they don't read the English, then they might end up with a ballot. But it is a vanishingly small number of people. And the reason why it is so easy to just check that box is because Washington wants people to register as easily as possible. And were there a fraud problem, then we need to put some barriers up, but that's simply not the case.
Yeah, if we could prove that there is an actual fraud problem, G, I would be all for this. Because I would say, absolutely, you need this. But there has been, I think it would be more likely that people how many people do we already hear from who say, I'm just not going to vote. I don't feel like my vote counts.
A lot of that. Scott Pressler, a conservative activist and political organizer, has a history of promoting QAnon conspiracy theories. Oh, okay, Scott. Come on in. Let's pack the house. Let's hear what Scott has to say. Okay.
Well, I mean, the Pizzagate guy is in the White House right now, right?
Dog, I just tell you what, man. The bar is so low these days, just in general. You could just...
So Dave in the 253 says, what is wrong with citizenship verification and voting? I mean, I think I explained that for a lot of people, even though they are citizens, they might not readily be able to prove that. And again, we have a situation in place where right now this is not a big problem.
How about a literacy test before you be able to vote? That was sarcasm. Yeah. Do you think, Ursula, that this will always be a topic for years to come?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
mean, it's always going to be, what can you do to either get voter suppression or always make people doubt that votes are legitimate unless it goes the way that you want it to.
Yeah.
Can I make one more quick point? Just think about what a grand conspiracy you would need to throw an election with fraudulent votes. I would need to decide to commit a felony, and then I would have to convince thousands of other people to also commit a felony and coordinate that in order for it to actually happen. It just doesn't.
But I will say that even just looking at our text line right now, there's a lot of support for it. 425. If you can't prove you're a citizen, then you shouldn't be voting.
Read Parrish and Yelm.
But here, Parrish and Yelm, I'm a conservative. This is an obvious attempt to reduce voter participation. And that's the point we're trying to make.
Yep. Coming up next, good old agree to disagree comes through in the clutch. Do that next, Gee and Ursula. This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Wait. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Your new home is now ready.
D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Time is running out to save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. Now through the end of the month, save big on home comfort systems, generators, water heaters, and more. Plus, take advantage of 12-month interest-free financing and get your home winter ready before the chilly season starts. Trust the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest to be your dedicated home comfort company. Call Bob's today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Every jersey tells a story.
So many people dressed in Seahawk blue.
From unforgettable touchdowns.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Jackson Smith-Njigba, Johnny on the spot.
To game-changing hits.
He gets hit again. Leonard Williams drags him down.
To memorable catches.
Jordan drops back to pass in the end zone to Larkin. Touchdown, Seahawks!
History lives in every thread. Shop official Seahawks jerseys in-store at Lumen Field, The Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/ProShop.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Attorneys for former FBI Director James Comey are in court arguing the case against him should be thrown out because a full grand jury never saw or voted on the indictment. Legal expert Lori Levinson points out the case was brought by an attorney with no experience as a federal prosecutor.
They jammed in this new prosecutor because the seasoned veteran prosecutors refused to bring the case against Comey.
Comey claims the case is an act of revenge by President Trump. A bill forcing the Justice Department to release the Jeffrey Epstein files is awaiting President Trump's signature. The House and Senate passed it. Washington Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal posting on X that survivors of the convicted sex trafficker were on hand.
Finally, people were paying attention to them, and finally, we got this vote through.
Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner told Seattle Red 770.
I've always been consistent in the fact that the nefarious and evil activities of Jeffrey Epstein need to be revealed, and that transparency is always the best approach to these things.
President Trump has said he will sign the bill. King County unanimously passes a 2-year, $20 billion budget that funds everything from transit to sewage to jails and drug treatment, and it includes a tax increase.
County Council increased property tax to 15 cents for every $1,000 of assessed home value. But the big winner, affordable housing, including approval of an amendment by Councilmember Teresa Mosqueda to Trump-proof housing assistance from any federal cuts.
The very funding that we have been able to rely on for decades is at threat.
One of the losers, Council approved just 9 out of the 58 positions the prosecutor's office asked for, but gave more money to behavioral health services and the King County Sexual Assault Resource Center. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Starting January 1st, you'll pay more for plastic carryout bags. The Department of Ecology says the fee will rise from 8 cents to 12 cents per bag at restaurants and retailers. Paper bags will stay at 8 cents. Today is an unusually dry day. Meteorologist Scott Sistek of the Emerald City Weather Blog told Seattle's Morning News.
November 19th is statistically the wettest day in Seattle. It is statistically the most frequent day with rain of any other days of the year.
Your forecast coming up in just a moment. But first, on Wall Street, the Dow is down 148 points. NASDAQ up 27. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, thanks, Heather. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union. There's about a 4-mile backup between Everett and Linwood on southbound I-5 due to road work at 164th. It's taken up 2 left lanes. The backup starts near the Everett Mall. Plan on a good 25 minutes just to get through this. Everett to Seattle, a 50-minute commute. The drive through Seattle looking good, just minimal crowding in both directions through the downtown core. Northbound 405 slows through the S-curves up to the VMAC. Right at the Maple Valley Highway, we've got a collision. It's on your left shoulder. It isn't blocking, but drivers are slowing down briefly at the scene there. But it really isn't affecting your drive. Renton to Bellevue, 15 minutes. And a brief backup northbound 167 through those Pacific lane restrictions. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy today with highs near 50. It's 45 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. It's time for us to agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
We're going to talk about our health here and what we want to know or have a right to know. So news out of the Mayo Clinic this week. A new tool that can predict dementia 10 years out, and that's many years before patients detect any symptoms whatsoever. But you can't really stop the dementia from coming. You can only basically slow it down, which brings up the question of whether you'd want to know. And I'm going to tell you about a couple more things right now. Like, obviously, you can test the BRCA gene for breast cancer. Women do that all the time. You can find out if you have a variant for Alzheimer's. But the future of genetic and biological testing is going to take us even further. So a couple things in the works. Typically now, doctors have to detect a lump before they can say, hey, you have cancer. Well, they're working on tools that identify the ghost DNA of tumors from a simple blood test, which could detect a cancer years before it ever shows up on any other current test. Or heart attack algorithms. So doctors are working on new polygenic risk scores that will analyze millions of your own genetic variances, and they say could detect a deadly heart attack in a 30-year-old with absolute precision. So if I'm 30, they could tell you by the age of 45, 95% chance you're going to have a cardiac event. So I'm going to start off by asking first, Ursula, would you want to know?
Yes.
Yes.
I would. If there's anything that I could do today, besides the basics that we all know would help contribute to a healthier heart, I absolutely would want to know what my risks are for these particular things in the event that I can do something right now to change that outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes. Do I think it's fraught with potential problems? Yes. But again, if these are tests that have really good accuracy and could prevent something, absolutely, I would do something.
Gee?
Yeah, I'm with Ursula, right? Yes.
Okay.
I would definitely want to know that. I think that if you go to your doctor's appointment and you go there and they're like, hey, Gee, you need to lay off some of the salt, my boy. You know what I mean? You need to lay off some of this. And we did just test right here. You don't believe fat meat is greasy, do you? You keep doing that. This is what you're looking at right here. Now, this will happen in about 5 to 10 years. But if you listen to what I'm telling you, it won't happen. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the question of, let's say you're getting engaged. Do you want to know your partner's genetic risk factors before you decide to tie the knot?
I already looked at mine. You know what I'm saying? I didn't look. Let me see. Your mama, your daddy, they look good. Okay. Your grandmama lived to that long. Your granddaddy lived that long. Okay. Yep. I'm probably going before you.
I mean, statistically, men are more likely.
Did you? Yeah, this is true. Did you actually have that cross your mind?
Yes. What you talking about? Y'all don't do that. Y'all don't look at your mama and them, your daddy and them. You see how long they live. You see the grandmama and them, and you be like, okay, I'm looking at you.
The odds are good for us because our parents lived into their 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So that's really good. But I could see where you're saying it's like fighting against nature. And ethically, are there some issues with that? Again, I would have to think about it much longer than what I have the time to do right now. But this idea of looking for that so-called perfect partner who has perfect genetics so that when we have children...
Well, I'm not talking about like editing genetic material before we're born. I'll bring up a very real scenario that happened in my own family. So there's someone in my family who died of cancer a couple years back. He had a second marriage late in life, and they were married, I think, for maybe 5-6 years. Her prior husband had also died of cancer. And I haven't asked this person this, but I bet it would have given her a lot of pause to know that she would have to lose a second husband to cancer. Because going through that is really, really tough. What about your kids? Do you want to test your kids? Hey, it looks like they will develop type 1 diabetes at some point in their life unless they're extremely, extremely cautious, or they'll get cancer.
And again, I would just go with the more information that I have that I can take action on, the more I would want. I also know that it would be a very privileged position to have because I'm going to guess this testing would require some money.
You know what? Let me tell y'all what's happening here. And this is why a lot of times I don't like to do a whole lot of research on topics, because sometimes you just go into the flow. When you decided to buy the house that you're in right now, wherever you live, right? You decided to buy that house. You probably bought that house. Maybe you love the side, the grass, the lawn. You love the front door. You love the kitchen. There's something about that house that made you love all those things. You don't usually love the house by, these are the specs, and this is where it looks like it does great for the environment. My point is that, Ursula, this next life that's coming up for a lot of folks, I feel sorry for them. You know what I mean? Like, we used to marry for the love. We used to get houses just for the grass. Like, this whole thinking perfect science, that ain't real life. Folks is too dependent on it needs to match up. Sometimes life is best when it don't match. Sometimes life is best when you meet that person that ain't perfect.
Roll the dice.
You find that house that it's not that great, but it's a fixer-upper.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to those days? That dude's a fixer-upper.
You know what happened is science, technology. Technology is advanced to the point where, again, just like with AI, how I think there's going to be such incredible uses of AI when it comes to health.
Yeah.
And medical advances, but I also think there's going to be things to our detriment.
Imagine it. I ain't getting married to Cletus because I just found out Cletus might drop dead in 10 years.
Gee, what are you talking about? I got to challenge you because how many people don't get a home inspection before they buy the house? I mean, it's the same thing with your health. And you'd probably tell someone that they're crazy if they didn't find out if their partner had $100,000 worth of debt before they got married.
Let me tell you something. even when the home inspection comes out and there's some imperfections, some people still choose to get the house. Like some people that got the house that was along in a flooding area, they knew that house was in a flooding area, but they loved the house so much. And then when a flood happened,
hey, sickness and health, right?
Yeah. All right, Ursula. Sometimes you got to do something that ain't perfect. They built this show right here all on a one-day, one-time fill-in situation. The best things in life ain't perfect.
Isn't that the truth?
Coming up next, text messages.
Moments of joy. We're going to share your stories.
That's right. Moments of joy. Do that next. We listen up for it now. Gee and Ursula.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good to Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good to Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
The insurance world, it can be confusing, so have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So I saw that you visited the baby chicks.
I got to hold 7 of them. They were so cute.
Do you know why Wilcox chickens are so happy?
Because they get to play outside?
Yes.
Happy chickens are healthy chickens.
From our farm to your table, Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Honey, look. 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Good morning. Oh, it's been a good show today, and shout out to those that listen. And even though it was hard to listen, because these topics we talked about today were so rough.
You know that there was a segment that we completely dropped in the 11 o'clock hour.
Yeah, it's a segment that nobody paid attention to for years. We stayed away from it.
Even though we're like, we really should be talking about this, but we're not. But one thing that we want to talk about right now is our Moments of Joy project. And I want to continue sharing the stories of the nominations. These are the folks who are going to be getting our baskets of joy. Juan is nominating his wife, Angelica, for one of these baskets. He says that Angelica has been on dialysis for the past 13 years, but she finally received great news. She is going to be placed on the list for a transplant. And Juan says their son has never known a life without his mom going to dialysis every other day. So the family is finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Juan also says he listens to the show every day and he constantly tells his wife about us. And he says this basket would be a real blessing for her.
That's awesome. Suzanne is nominating her dear friend Elaine. Suzanne says Elaine has been one of her bunco babes for over 20 years, though they have known each other for 40. Last year, Elaine was diagnosed with breast cancer and at the same time found out that she has pancreatic cancer. She has been through brutal chemo treatments for the last 6 months. Suzanne has sent cards but hasn't been able to visit because Elaine is immunocompromised. Suzanne writes, she is a wonderful woman. Please consider sending some love and positivity out to the little town of Eatonville.
And then our friend Jess in Utah is nominating her mom, Lee. Jess says Lee and her grandmother raised her in poverty and taught her how to be grateful for what they had. And 2 years ago, Lee was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. Now, while working full-time and balancing chemo, Lee also acted as the caregiver for her mom. And then sadly, Jessica's grandmother succumbed to Alzheimer's shortly after Lee went into remission. Jessica tells us her mom is the most selfless, strongest woman that she has ever known, saying that no matter what life throws at her, she rises above.
And Eileen is nominating Alora for a basket of joy. Eileen met her through a friend who adopted a special kitten Alora had saved. Rescuing cats and sometimes dogs is a huge passion project for her. She works at a local vet clinic, has a small family, and tirelessly treks back and forth from the Yakima area on her own dime. She uses her own money for surgeries and tests and only occasionally reaches out to followers for help with bills. Eileen says, I don't know where she has the time or energy. She is quietly making a huge difference regarding pet overpopulation in Eastern Washington.
Thank you so much. We're going to share some more of the nominations throughout the rest of this week. Again, we are no longer taking any nominations, but as you can tell, Gee, I think all of these people who were nominated are very deserving of these baskets of joy. I do want to also mention that a friend of mine over at Bloomie's and a friend of mine also at Nordstrom in Bellevue were very helpful when I mentioned to them what I was doing and what we were doing on the show, and they donated. So all of these people who specifically asked for these baskets that include fragrances.
Right.
There are some really cool things in these baskets.
Yeah.
And I hope they bring a big fat smile. And I know that we haven't talked about Lillian's loaf cakes, but those are delicious.
Yeah.
Treats.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It'll add a little something to the basket.
Yes, for sure. And thank you for that.
All right, Ursula, it's time for your words to live by. What you got for us today?
And because I was just so preoccupied with everything that we've done today, I actually don't have any prepared, but I want to just remind everybody that if there is an opportunity to do something nice for somebody, if you are in a position where you can help, there is always someone who is going through a battle that you are not aware of, and just try to pay it forward.
Love that. That's the words to live by. Pay it forward. There it is.
Off the cuff, too. I like it.
Nick, what do you got?
Well, I know these days for fellas, there's a tougher road ahead while they're trying to think through who'll be their soulmate in their head, but I wouldn't be in such a rush to reach the status quo. After all, it gives you more time for chasing charm and glow. But I wouldn't go as far to find future genetic stats. If you start to get that picky, then your luck likely falls flat. You can have your standards, but future Alzheimer's 50 years from now, I don't think that's a deal breaker. You can look right past that.
All right. Hey, before we go, Nick, we didn't get to get your opinion on that. Earlier today when we were talking about, fellas 1 and 4 and all that stuff. The dating world out there. Can you kind of give us a snapshot of it, or is it a little rough out there?
Oh yeah, you brought up a point how guys, they don't have as much opportunity now, and I think it's less about the women, it's more about the more opportunities they have. So they see a relationship less as, a benefit to them, as more maybe a liability, because women are making more money now, and it's not their fault at all. It's just a better opportunity for them. So they don't see guys as a chance to, have a future, because they can hold their own future at this point.
Good stuff, Nick. All right, Ursula, time to go. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Thursday. Man, this week is crawling. Hey, Chef, thank you. Nick, thank you.
You too, man.
Hey, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
Well, you're getting ready every morning. Make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO Newsradio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
What burning questions do you have? You can help drive the conversation by going to mynorthwest.com or text Choke Points to 888-973-5476.
Tuesdays and Thursdays on Seattle's Morning News.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. Be the someone who gives their time. Be the someone who lends an ear. Be the someone who takes a step. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN, asking you to join the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
This message brought to you by the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and this station.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay and it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1.